Hey everyone, if you've just entered the channel as well live and also on YouTube, then I am watching the Guild Chat show. We're talking about Siege Turtle Mount is the preview stream. It happened earlier today, but I'm watching it later. Let's watch the thing. Good timing, Jebro. Well done. Trailer. I may stop it at different times.
Hundreds of years ago, the nomadic Luxon Armada trained massive turtles to bear weapons of war across the Jade Sea. Now, you can raise your own turtle from an adorable hatchling to a cannon-carrying mount. Modern siege turtles are equipped with the latest Jade tech advancements, including powerful jump jets and health boosters. Use these tools to lift your turtle across rough terrain and slam your enemies for massive damage. Best of all, there's plenty of room for a friend. Take your favorite siege engineer out for a ride and make the most of the turtle's cannons.
Look at the char in the thingy as well. That's actually very cool. Yeah, Turtle Mount. Yeah. Check the
Hi Tyria, welcome to Guild Chat, and thank you all for joining us on a Wednesday. I'm your host Ruby, and yeah, we're doing it kind of on a weird day because here in America we have the Thanksgiving holiday tomorrow, so we're going to be on break tomorrow on Friday. But we still wanted to give you this show and give you some more information on what's coming up next week. The 4th open beta event for End of Dragons is next Tuesday, starting on November 30th. You're going to get to come in and play all 9 End of Dragons Elite Specializations, and you're going to get to try the Siege Turtle. So we're going to give you a little preview of some Siege Turtle gameplay today with our first dev guest. But stick around after we show you the Siege Turtle gameplay because Cal is with us too, and he's going to give you all a preview of some of That was so good.
Classic.
Perfect. So Cal's going to give you a preview of the changes.
If no one knows like the reference, it's because Cal drank so much water in the first
things that
one.
I'm going to leave
like 10
for
bottles.
the end. So let's go ahead and get started because we have a lot to get through. Let's meet our first dev guest, but Cal and his water kind of got in front of you. So
No,
hi, Nick.
It's all good. So I'm not Cal. I'm Nick. Hi. I'm a game designer here at ArenaNet, working on End of Dragons, worked on Xingje and some other stuff. And I'm here to, as Ruby said, talk about the turtle baby.
All right.
Not the baby, but like, you know, our good boy.
Turtle
The
babies.
very
Turtle
large
babies
lad.
are later.
Yes,
All right.
turtle babies are later.
So let's start. Let's take a look at this guy.
Yeah.
All right, so this
That's
is
it. I'm done.
our Siege Turtle, our first 2-player mount. This focuses on cooperation and working together. There's a driver's seat and a gunner's seat. Everybody has their own roles to play. However, if you are more of a solo player, you can still use the turtle because there's a driver's skill that we'll talk about later. A couple things about the Siege Turtle that you can look for once you've got your hands on this guy yourself. When you get closer to the turtle, whether you're in the other person's party or not, he gets kind of transparent and there is not collision. So you can't park your turtles on top of things and block them. We're not going to have turtle roadblocks and traffic jams. You also need to be in the person's party to board the turtle. So if I were not in Nick's party, don't kick me. If I were not in Nick's party, I would not have this board turtle option. And if I left the party, I would get booted off the turtle. So we've got a couple things in there just to make this as smooth as humanly possible. If you're not familiar with Siege Turtles from Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, back in Guild Wars factions, this was a thing with the Luxon faction. They raised and trained Siege Turtles for battle with their big cannons. They had turtle hatcheries all over the world. Gala Hatchery was one of the most familiar ones. That was some gameplay in Guild Wars factions. And a little fun fact, Siege Turtles like to eat carrots and fish. That's their favorite food. Thank you for that, Indigo. All right, that said, let's get started. Let's do some turtle
awesome.
gameplay.
So it looks like they got fed free
first
skills
off,
as well.
Movement, which as you can see, this is as fast as the turtle goes. Big boy, but slow. Is what it would actually be the truth if I wasn't lying. This is just the walking animation which we wanted to demonstrate because, you know, every mount has a walking animation. I think that this one was actually really well done. Props to the animation team.
Yeah.
But no, it does move faster than that.
It was
reality,
the actual. That
because
is
this
the actual
only
walking
mount,
animation.
like the only creature mount that we're developing for this expansion. we tried to make sure that we and the team tried to make sure that the movement of the mount felt like a strong utility, and like you wanted to use this mount over other mounts depending on what your situations were. So it has a horizontal jump, but it's like a lower horizontal jump than the Raptor. It's got a high vertical jump compared to the Raptor and the Jackal, but it's lower than the Springer. It increases its speed and ramps up.
Jack of all trades, master of none,
right now,
other than
very similar to
guns.
Beetle, but has a
So it is the master of
lower
one.
maxed out speed.
I don't like that.
Of course.
Brains, by the way.
Which you actually, this
You can
bar
still
right
master
here,
things.
you'll be able to see is the momentum speedometer, which basically shows how fast your turtle is going and when you have hit its max speed, because it will be fully filled out. Along with that, as I mentioned, there is a vertical jump, and that is a new unique thing to the turtle. So as you can see, we have these little like jets here. And all
Yeah,
this,
so good.
Text strapped onto the turtle. And the reason for that is because the turtle actually has the ability
This is like my
to
engineer
use these
mount.
as
This
sort
is
of
my
like
mount.
rocket jets.
This is the mount for me.
And what
It's
those
for
jets allow the
engineers,
turtle to
sorry.
do is basically jump.
So
like,
good.
if you need to get to higher areas, or if you like, need
Oh,
to
it's more
glide
of a
for little
hover
bit,
than a
you can
jump,
utilize
isn't it?
those
I
jets
guess.
to,
Well,
gain some height and or
Yes, no, it is
stabilize
jump,
and
isn't
keep at
it?
your current height, as long as the endurance bar has endurance. Once it's out, that's basically the fuel meter. So you will run
doesn't
out
go
and
very
just
high.
anticipate.
Mount plus a mechanist.
Besides that,
I wonder if the mech
yeah,
runs
there's
alongside
just
it.
a big tanky boy. And that's pretty much everything for the movement right now. I think the next thing to talk about is actually going to be the combat skills. So as you can see here, we have a normal engage skill, and of course, as of a little while ago, we've added to the 5 slots all of the endurance skills for each of the mounts, and this mount is no different. This one will allow you, when you click on it or utilize it, to use its jump jets. But with this, what you have the ability to do is you slam onto the ground like that, and it will do a brief point-blank AoE in front
Oh,
of
so
the
that
player.
one doesn't
It
take
will
you off the mount. You have to dismount it
that
properly.
there we go,
Maybe.
yeah. That will do defiance damage,
Interesting.
as well as
Oh, does
sustain
defiance
amount of
damage.
And
It
what's
does do
cool about
defiance,
that as
okay.
well is that you can actually utilize the
Makes
jump
sense.
jets to slam down, and the higher you are when you slam down, the more base damage you will get.
Oh, that's very cool. I like that.
So besides that, what you'll also
Can
be
you
able to
go
see
run
is
around,
that
please?
we actually have all of the mastery skills from seasons 4 and 5.
Yeah, I've got to unlock those.
That you can utilize within the mount's kit as well. There are some additions to them that there are some additions and integrations of them that you will be able to see that help make the turtle more effective for players, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But for right now, that's pretty much everything for the driver side of things. Ruby, since you're the gunner on this, do you want to talk a little bit about the gunner's
Yeah,
side?
can you give
gunner
me,
side
I
looks
want to cause
much
a little
more
bit of
fun.
trouble. Can you give me something to cause trouble with?
Yeah.
All right, let's get in a fight,
Ask
shall
and
we?
You shall receive.
Ruby's just like, I'm ready
So,
to kill some
we're
shit.
waiting on some enemies now. Nick is
I can
Nick is
spell.
making trouble happen.
I'm trying to.
Well, the problem is,
There
like
we
when
go.
someone's watching or when you're in a hurry, that's when the typos happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, but oh, you did it.
Yeah, we got
All
some
right.
baddies.
So I got Turtle Siege.
They
which
look
is
like,
which is my turtle cannons.
it looks a
And this is
little
ground
bit like the
target skill.
engineer.
You can see
It's probably
down
like
here
Jade
that right
Fin,
now I
isn't
have
it?
2 stacks of ammo. Stacks of ammo. It does not mean 500 ammo. Don't get excited. I have 2 left. We are.
Oh, and there's a cooldown, and
Sorry.
you get
Yeah,
the
I was
ammo.
just-
So,
yeah, I was just
funnily
running in
enough,
circles
it's got
and
ammo. So you
dropping-
can't just.
Dropping cannon siege.
Yeah.
On these
Okay, that's
guys.
probably good.
So this is. It's not. Okay, I can't do this anymore because now I'm distracted.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm like,
say
wait,
Ruby can't talk because Ruby's enjoying it,
Almost
just
trying to
playing.
keep it alive, because something that people will probably notice right now that you don't notice with other mounts is that the slam that we're utilizing actually doesn't dismount you, which is something that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, exactly.
We wanted this mount to be able to be utilized in combat.
So
what we
you're
did
gonna
was
have to
we
dismount or
removed,
use the 8th skill, which is the
disengage
jump off.
on the engage skill, which I know doesn't really make much sense. Also, yes, I am
Thank you
going
for
to
that.
cheat and heal to keep us on the mount,
Appreciate it.
because we're fighting a lot of people.
It
Well,
is,
you're
but
s-
that's okay.
Yeah, but what you're seeing is that there's a lot of damage that we can provide either with the gunner or with the
What's
mount
number
itself.
3 skill though?
And, yeah, the mount, we gave it enough health where we could actually allow it to be tanky, as well as an actual defiance bar in and of
all right,
itself.
let's pause it. Let's pause it for a second. So the thing I really like about this is the fact that someone's going to be driving it about, and then someone's just going to be firing. They don't drive at all. They're just going to be firing this thing. It's going to be hilarious. Can you imagine doing that with your mates, like just taking on shed loads of enemies and just running about on this turtle and just having a laugh with your friend, and just doing that with loads of mates as well. You could farm stuff pretty. I mean, I know obviously probably being off your mount would be easier. It is the one you were meant to have with us. This is very true. This is very true. It's awesome.
We can withstand some
It's like the thing is, this is even better because this is even better than the other mounts. No, it's not better. It's different because it's not about traversing. It's not about really getting around the map at all. It's more about like potentially not even getting off your mount and just role playing as a person that's mounted, as if you're like it's just mounted combat, isn't it? It's just wicked. Like, so if they're already doing this mounted combat, I wonder if they can have jousts and stuff in the future. Can you imagine if they had like horses or whatever, and they had jousts, and there were PvP jousts and PvP like turtle mount like flipping matches and like death matches? I need this in my life. Like, this has to be in World v World.
So
it has to be in World v World.
My ammo now that you've been running around
So
a little
good.
bit. Ammo, you start with 5. You
Just
run out.
bros.
It's not just gone forever.
PvP
Movement
mode.
regens
I love it,
that.
chat. Good job.
There are other skills that also regen. There are other ways to regen that we will talk about later. But the faster Nick moves, the more ammo that I get back. So if you're running around and kiting, hey, Hammer Master, all right. I just randomly.
Might want to look at that one.
Getting achievements over here.
Hammer Master.
But yeah, the faster Nick zooms around, the more ammo that we have. So you can work together. This is part of that cooperation that we were talking about.
Interesting.
Before.
I wonder if
We
it's
can
like
work together to keep that ammo
I
going.
wonder if it
keep
was
out
like
of the
what
enemy's
hammer
way.
skill that was.
Yeah.
And also, one note: the numbers are not final.
Yeah, so the numbers are not final here. What you're going to be
That
seeing
was
in
a
the
7K
beta
hit.
is that
Whew.
the numbers that you're going to be seeing within the beta and fighting against the Corteria and expansion enemies are going to be different than the ones that you're
Wait,
seeing right now.
expansions
from us.
enemies?
Probably look a little bit lower. It looks a
Wait,
little bit
what?
less damagey. That's because of balances that we're currently doing to the expansion armies and things like that. Besides that, let's see.
Actually, I want to note real quick too that I don't know if you guys could tell. While Nick was running around, we're running through the enemies that I've killed, and I was just kind of looting as you go. You can loot from the mount. You don't have to.
Oh,
dismount
that
to
is
take care of that.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
which that's both for the gunner and for the driver. Like, as you can see right now, I'm going to be able to just
Everybody
take
gets
all
their
of
loot.
all the stuff. Yeah.
Get all the things.
Yeah.
Vacuum it up, Nick. Do you want to talk about the speedometer a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So going back to what Ruby was talking about earlier with the ammo generation and regeneration, the players, like, this speedometer doesn't only just show how fast you're going, it also shows how much additional recharge you're getting. So as you can see, it's broken out between green and red. The way that this works out is that while it's in green, the recharge is at a certain threshold. Once it hits red, it will be even faster, and that kind of maxes out what the base regeneration addition is.
How clever is that? So it encourages the driver to be active rather than just the gunner standing there. It encourages the driver to drive around in the most effective way to get more ammo so that the gunner can deliver more damage. This is actually genius. This is actually genius. I'm going to call this YouTube video. All right, someone remind me. Someone write it down. I'm going to call it, I'm going to write on the back of this chapstick thing, actual genius. That's what I'm going to call the video. Like, ridiculous. 1000 IQ. Yes.
Or regeneration reduction.
I agree.
What's the appropriate terminology for that?
What?
Generation? Endurance regeneration?
Sure.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Ship it. But the long and short of it is basically just that the faster you run, the more ammo that you'll get, or the faster the ammo will regenerate, and the speedometer is there as a way to kind of visually show and indicate what that looks like.
So speaking of speed, do we want to go super zoomy?
We should definitely go super zoom.
All right, so I have this cool 5 skill here. This is my overdrive
You
skill.
can tell Ruby is loving this.
What does this overdrive skill do, Ruby?
So overdrive,
I'm curious.
this boosts
See?
acceleration, pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It boosts your acceleration, max speed is more, boosts your turning ability.
Max speed is more.
And I'm going to let the driver show that because the faster you go, also you're going to drift a little bit. This is kind of like roller beetle.
Yeah, it's
Just
got
a
that
little.
roller beetle drift. You know, it's a very big, a very heavy creature. So we wanted to kind of help demonstrate that. So it does slide a little bit depending on the speed that you're going and the turn radius that you give it when you do decide
Yeah.
to turn.
And do it again.
I think this
Also
mount.
something to note is that does also
it's very
help
interesting.
the siege ammo regeneration.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I'm going
is
to give Mark a quick note not
awesome
to show
watch.
my monitor because we need to keep our secrets. So we'll just stay on Nick while I do a thing.
Yeah, and
And we're underwater now.
we are underwater now. Actually, I don't know if anybody noticed that animation. Let me.
it
Alright,
was
I'm gonna
great.
be a dirty cheater. I'm gonna do the dirty cheater
How
stuff.
dare you?
But what we'll actually see in a second
This is
that
very good
the
animation.
turtle actually also has a very unique landing animation.
That was
transition
cool.
Animation where it's like you will actually hit the water, everything slows down, and then you sink. And this is something that's really interesting about the turtle is that it doesn't swim; it just sinks to the bottom of the water. And what's also really interesting about it, and a bit novel actually, is that the turtle walks around on the ground surfaces of every single water area within the game. So like, as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't swim. And going back to what we were talking about earlier, where it's more of a utility mount and it has a little bit of everything, similar to the upgraded skimmer, this is another mount that
It's
you
like
can
New
utilize
World and
underwater.
you sink. No.
And yeah, what I actually really like about it is that with mounts in the game, right, with gliding, those additions kind of reshaped the way that you think about those specific areas in the traversals. What I found with the turtle as well, at least for myself, is that it
put
kind of
masks on.
changes the way you look at all of the underwater areas. So like whether it's in Corteria or Path of Fire or even in Den of Dragons, just being able to walk around at the base level of a map kind of changes the game, at least for me.
Can
That's
you
the way I see
fire
it. So
down
I'm excited
there?
for players to be able
Absolutely.
to see that and hopefully,
5 things.
you know, experience it and maybe hopefully have the same thoughts.
Underwater skills.
So I do love that the turtle can walk around underwater. I love the animations, but I also love that it. Okay, hello, my screen is full of turtle. Suddenly, it's just turtles everywhere. I also want to talk a little bit about the combat.
Skip on water
underneath
going
the
fast.
water,
Yeah.
because you can still do
Look at
that.
look at the booster. It's
I
really
need you
good
to take me a
actually.
little bit closer to that hermit crab that I have
Looks like it's
targeted over there, please.
You got it.
Please. Oh wait, no. Okay, well,
Oh, there's another one right there.
yes, we can get that one.
Actually, I think we can both heard it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so
Wait, wait.
underwater is not
Oh,
ground
yeah.
targeted, it is enemy targeted. I don't want to kill that koi, that's just kind of like stomping a fly. Can you give
so
me
like
I need
engineer
another
actually
hermit
with
crab, there's
grenades.
just one.
It's like targets rather
We're
than
trying to find enemies so hard.
so
we
things because things are
while
floating
you're
obviously.
trying to find me an enemy, I also want to note that you're going to be able to mount and dismount the siege turtle while you're underwater. That's not just, oh, you have to be on dry land or it doesn't work.
Oh,
You know
nice.
what?
That's
So, like,
cool.
also the gunner,
Damn, there's
can
like
hop
what?
into-
the
the
oh
gunner
yeah,
can
that
hop
was
into and out of the
it's the basic creature.
another
I forgot about
person's
that.
siege turtle as well.
Thank you for the
So
clips.
it's like it's not just that the main person can mount and dismount, but also the gunner can hop in and out.
I'm doing like mass damage to these creatures because they're the only ones I could find.
Yeah. Poor, I'm sorry,
I'm
Koi.
sorry,
Got
Koi.
it
I'm
for
so
the stream.
sorry. It's fine. He'll respawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else to note, I think, is that, like, as you mentioned, there's a difference between the ground version, which has actual ground targeting, very similar to our other skills, versus the click target. And the reason for that is just that we wanted to make sure that
Yeah, the sinking is cool. Hey Astro, what's
it's a
up?
bit more like accessible and like the ease of access, ease of use for everybody while they're using these things within the water, because it is a bit harder to use ground targeting skills in the water.
It really is.
Yeah.
I also want to note that you're getting XP for my hard work
Yeah.
siege cannoning koi.
Yeah, that is definitely something else to note. Is that I think because we're in the same
Yeah,
party,
like
anything
the
that you do,
oh,
will
I
get
wonder if you
credit
can
for to
actually
some
do
extent,
that to the point where you
and
can
vice
get out of the
versa.
water. I guess you could. Look,
So yeah, I think that actually also might be beneficial to get out of this water, which
Yes, please.
yeah, the best way for us to be able to do that is by utilizing the jump jets. That's how the turtle moves up and down.
This
and
is
actually,
amazing.
Before I go out of the
They're
water,
failing.
what I will note is that I don't know if other people will notice it, but within the water, while you're swimming around, while you're using the jump jets, they will actually move faster. So you will gain more elevation
so rad.
faster while you're using the turtle.
Oh, you just
in the
destroyed that
water.
skiff.
This person in my skiff.
Yeah, they're
Please.
like, my skiff. Your skiff's okay. It's very durable.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. But so that's pretty much it for underwater.
Yeah. Let's see, what else have we got? I think we've
Yeah,
covered
some
most of it.
Masteries.
You all are going to get to try this. Yeah. You all are going to get to try this next week in the End of Dragons beta event starting on Tuesday the 30th. You're going to start with Siege Turtle Mastery 1. We are going to give you a little sneak peek at the Siege Turtle Masteries just so you can see the whole line and see what's going to be happening in End of Dragons
Feedback
once
again.
it's live.
Awesome.
Once again, Mark, I'm keeping our secrets, so please don't show my screen. All right, let's go ahead and go through them, starting with the Siege Turtle level 1. The first one is Turtle Health Boost, and that will increase your turtle's health.
Yeah.
It's a very, very basic one, and it's like, yeah, okay, here's the first mastery, cool, gives them double health. Meh.
Second one is Slam Mastery. This is what Nick was talking about earlier. Your turtle's slam will now also generate 25% of an artillery shot. And this is...
That's more like Guild Wars 2. Like, do a slam. Like, so that's why you have to... So the driver is going to have to slam and keep their speed in the higher range so that they can get more ammo, so you can do more damage. So you have to be really, really active with both. With both, yeah. Because I guess your max ammo is 2,
thing that
right?
we were talking about earlier, where
have to fly
you
after
regen
you
your
go.
artillery in the gunner seat by running around. The faster you run, the more it regens, but also when you use that Slam Mastery skill, you get a little bit of an artillery shot back too. So that helps regenerate it faster. Improved jump jets, which would have been awesome when you were getting out of the water, but it still does its thing. Your turtle can now jump farther and
Nice. Good
higher
underwater.
using his jump jets. Power Shell is a protective skill. This allows you to convert incoming damage into ammo from the passenger seat.
Oh, that's...
A little protective shell.
Damn, that is well good. Why didn't they show us that animation? They had the shell there. Sadness. Conditions converted to boons. Pulses 5. Empower your turtle with a shell of energy, converting incoming damage to ammo and incoming conditions to boons. Is it one condition? Oh, I don't know. That's good.
Beyond
So you
your
can do
actual
condition
turtle shell.
removal on the
And
turtle
finally-
as well. Like, you can do condition removal on the mount. What? That's well good. This is like
Sharing
next
caring.
level.
This gives your turtle's health boost to all of your other mounts too. So this one
What?
is useful for all of your mounts. All right.
Oh my
Yeah, sorry,
God.
one
I'm gonna
second.
hide that.
Yeah.
We have to like take little pauses and make sure that we're not showing anything off. Like we've talked about before, the game is a work in progress. We want to leave tons
So
for you
good.
to discover. So we're trying not to give away all of our secrets.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure that we could actually like also visually demonstrate some of the
So awesome.
differences. So like if you were to look at my client,
No
as an
worries.
example,
I'll see you soon. Bye.
what
Nick
you'll
is
see,
serious.
what
Take
you'll see
care.
now is that like the
We're still here, by the way. This is live if you're on YouTube as well.
Let's
Be
see.
wary.
I think it also mentions in the tooltip. Yeah. So now you'll see that also within the tooltip, ammo per hit is
Oh, this is so good.
and also the health has also been increased as well. So just
60k.
things like that, wanted to kind of give a little bit of visuals to that. I think also as well, if Ruby wants to show off the shield skill,
Yes, please.
Wait, let me come back.
Sorry.
Wait.
yeah, I'm right behind you. There we go.
All right. So that
wish they
shield
climbed
skill
up the
is my
side.
free
That would be cool.
skill.
And then yeah, it just puts a giant bubble around us.
Oh, it's exactly the same. It
We
looks
will
very
die
similar to the
much less
mech.
quick.
Yeah, something else to actually
bubble.
note. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but just in case, when we're talking about ammo regeneration and we're talking about the season 4 and 5 skills, the Bond of Life once again heals and increases the turtle's health, and that also increases dependent on whether you have the mastery or not, as well as the Bond of Vigor not only increases your endurance for your jet fuel, but it also increases the rate of ammo reacquisition. So
Oh, that's
when
cool.
you use that plus the boost,
I like that you have all the older mounts. It all interacts with each other, and that you can have like other masteries affecting other mounts, because it really makes you want to level up the other mounts, which means more time in game for players, spending time on masteries for individual mounts from other parts of the game, the living story. They've really put together the masteries from the living story well with like mounts. Like the masteries actually work really well with mounts, and whereas I have my concerns about masteries most of the time and their usefulness, because they don't have vertical leveling, they have horizontal leveling, which is what masteries are. You can easily run out of ideas and plans, I guess.
You know, the team wanted to make sure that we could better integrate and give additional value to both.
Wait,
those
they have
who get the turtle and go back.
That was stealth. That was interesting.
Content and get that, as well as additional value for
Turtle
those who already
stealth.
have those things and get the turtle. So definitely wanted to make sure that we could take some time to integrate those things. And
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad they did.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about World versus World a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that that's something that's on everybody's mind, right? It's called the Siege Turtle. So I know a lot of people out there that play World v. World are probably thinking like, Siege Turtle.
Hey.
Like, does Turtle do siege damage in World v. Worlds? And the unfortunate answer right now is no. What we decided for the expansion is that we will not be shipping the turtle within World v. World, and will not be allowing it to be usable in World v. World. And the reason for that is mostly just that with the expansion coming out and with all these additions of things like the elite specs as well as the alliances or world restructuring and things like that, we wanted to make sure that we didn't introduce too many variables of disruption for the expansion and when everything drops, to help make sure that people like Cal aren't like just forced to change a lot of stuff at the exact same time.
He's probably change a bunch of shit.
Mean that it's off the table. What the team decided on is that like if we do add it, it's going to be because people like yourselves and all the players have decided that they really, really want it, right? So through kind of community,
already do. Let's go.
Community desire and
YouTube,
with
who wants
community
it?
influence,
Give me it. Yeah.
we will make the decision on whether we should or should not add it. But something to also note there, I think actually our current design director said it best, we're only going to do it if it makes World v. World better. So something to note is that if we were to add it to World v. World at a later time, we would make sure that it doesn't break the game mode and that it fits. So it would be different, right? It would be a highly modified version of the Siege Turtle, very similar to what you see with the Warclaw in PvE versus World v. Worlds. But yeah, I think that's everything for World v. World. Yeah. Something else I think that is worth mentioning is that I think some people might have actually noticed this with the current the T-set chairs, because I think it's similar functionality there.
Oh yeah.
But you actually, while you have a passenger, you have the ability to teleport around with them. So as an example, I'm gonna cheat real quick.
Interesting.
We can show one of our screens. I'm good. I'm safe.
Yeah.
So Nick is teleporting.
Or trying to, anyways. Aha! That's
The typos are happening again.
I'm not used to this keyboard, but yeah. So as you can see, I just teleported to back over to the starting area that we were at earlier, and Ruby was pulled with me. So that means that you're not just taking your friends like on a run, right? Like you can take them to different parts of the map as well, utilizing teleports and waypoints. I think something else that is worth mentioning, because I'm sure that a lot of people are also curious about this, is that for the acquisition method, we can't really talk about what it is or like how it's built out, but what we can say is that it
Have
is
we got a
going to
map
be,
as well then?
faster for players
Or
in
is it just
acquisition
core
than
area?
the Skyscale was, as an example.
I missed that.
So for those people who are like, is it going to be comparable to Skyscale in duration and investment? The answer is it's going to be a lot simpler to get, a lot faster. And I think that's pretty much everything.
I dismounted while you were talking and hopped out over here just to show off that my turtle looks a little bit different from yours.
It does look a little bit
Skins.
different.
So just like with the other mounts, even on the base mount, you can dye yours to kind of make it your own.
Oh yeah.
We have a few dye colors available in the game. So I just went with a harvest gold. I went with like the most offensive pink I could find the first time. It was a lot. But yeah, I went with something a little more subdued this time, and Nick is changing his now.
Yeah, I
like that one.
I'm like cycling through. That's brick. If you're talking about the one that I'm using right now, that's brick.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then also, something to mention is that very similar to the other base level mounts, each of them has only a singular die channel on launch, and that's going to be the same with the turtle. So you will have one die channel for when the turtle is released, and it dies the shell specifically. Just for those who are curious about what parts it's dying particularly, it's just a shell for right now. And if I'm not mistaken, that's literally all of it.
I do want to call out one more thing.
Go for it.
This is just like a fun little animation thing, because we've talked before about how much work and the care and the details that everybody puts into these mounts. And if you look at my turtle, I'm just going to move away from you, Nick. As he is, no, you're fine. As he spins around, as I'm moving around, the cannons are following me. My siege cannons
Oh yeah.
are following the way to point in the direction that they are going to go.
I actually didn't even notice
Yeah,
that until right now.
it's a fun touch, but it's also a helpful visual indicator, like which way is this going?
Good
How
lord.
weird is this going to be depending on what
This mount is amazing.
So yeah, kudos to everybody who worked on this, because
exciting.
like we said, it's still a work in progress. We're still improving things and putting those final touches on.
Looks-
But
Well,
it
we're
already
playing it
looks
next week,
fantastic.
so I bet.
Yeah, and shout
It's
out
gonna be
to
fun.
people like Ben Kirsch, who is the main
Yeah.
designer for this. And
Awesome
everybody on
work.
the animation team worked on it, programmers as well, trying to make sure that it felt solid. You know, like this is a staple piece and kind of like one of the key features that we're shipping for this expansion. It's like one of the back of the box features. So the team really wanted to take some time to make sure that it felt good, that it felt, what's the word I'm looking for, like worth the investment, worth the time, and things like that.
God damn,
So
yeah,
hope
it's
they all
worth
feel the
it.
same way.
Yeah, awesome.
Well done.
Thank you very much for that,
GG's.
Nick.
Of course.
So I promised you all some more things. We're going to take a very short break, and then we will come back, and Cal's got some updates about the elite specializations for End of Dragon.
And we'll do a separate video for
So
this as
stick around.
well.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Siege Turtle looks amazing, people. Looks amazing.
Everybody
Okay.
Should I run away?
What time are we on? 40 here. So let's put the music on. Just do a bit of a roundup. Okay, that was awesome. The turtle looks so good. I am very, very happy. I'm very, very excited. The abilities look great. The masteries look cool. The first mastery is just like meh. It's health and it's fine because the others are wicked. They're so good. The underwater kind of. I'm gonna go and literally look at all the underwater zone, like all the underwater areas, and just walk around it as if it's just a normal flat map and feel like what it's like to walk around it as if there was no water there, because you're on the floor and you're forced on the floor, and that's cool. See if you can jump around. They should do like Siege Turtle like jump puzzles underwater. I think they should put it in World v World, 100%. I don't see why anyone would say that you shouldn't, because you know World v World is a fun hardcore activity. Sure, maybe have a map which is just Siege Turtles enabled, and it rotates. I don't know, it could be. Maybe you just have a Siege Turtle map, a new World v World map which is mount, you know, based. Have that fourth map, I don't know, not fourth map, but like fifth map, whatever. It'll be 6, I guess, because it's the mists and everything else. But like, I don't know. Yeah, or maybe you have to open up. Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, it was actually just really good. The cannons look cool. I love the way the mount works with like running around and then trying to get the ammo. And the way you can get more ammo is by keeping the speedometer high, but also by crushing, by using that first skill, which is the big thump onto enemies as well. And like more often you do that, the more often the speedometer is higher, the more you can get ammo and everything like that, which is really awesome. I'm really excited for this. And this is an engineer's mount because it's got cannons and guns and stuff and like boosters. So I'm just like, this expansion is the engineer roleplay expansion. I'm not even joking. It is, because of all the J-Tech, it's the engineer. It's just the engineer expansion. It just is. All right. This has been the Siege Turtle Mount previews live stream reactions. Not a lot of talk other than just being excited and talking about it. And I'm going to do that probably with Astral and Kroof if I actually get my ass to that point, because I'm going to be talking next in the next video, or if you're a live stream in a bit, about the balance changes and give you my thoughts about that as well. And then we'll talk to them in a bit. So that's going to be about half an hour or so. Otherwise, YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, do the things. Good job. Tell me what you thought in the comments.